have to put.
As the 2023 general election gathers momentum, candidates of various political parties are leaving no stone unturned in their bid to gain the trust of the electorate and garner as much ballots as needed for a resounding electoral victory in the forthcoming general election to be held in February 25th of 2023. Well, the APC candidate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu opened the year with his mega rally in Kano yesterday, and this saw a mammoth crowd gathered at the venue to welcome him and demonstrate their support for the APC presidential candidate. This feat would hopefully be replicated on Saturday, 7th of January this year, when Mr. Bola Tinubu would be visiting Akure, the Ondo State capital, for the continuation of his rally, which would also be taken around the country ahead of the polls. Today on Politics 2023, we'll be looking at some of this issue. We'll discuss the prospects of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu ahead of the poll, his visit to Akure on Saturday, as well as other related issues regarding the 2023 general election. It's the first edition of Politics 2023 this year, and I welcome you warmly on today's edition of the program. I'm your regular host on the show, Olabisi Olani Oluwasegun, and my studio guests are here with me, Barrister Tolu Babaleye, a regular face, a regular voice on the show. Thank you for coming again today.
Thank you for inviting me. Happy New Year.
Yes, he is APC chieftain in the state and member legal team of the Presidential Campaign Council. That's fantastic to know. I think we'll be doing justice definitely to some of these issues today.
Thank you.
I also have Barrister Olu Akinola, who is also a member of the Presidential Campaign Council, the legal team as well, and he's going to be setting straight some of these issues as well. The visit yesterday in Kano got a lot of people talking. With you now, Barrister Tolu Babaleye, a lot of people talked about that visit. It took some people by surprise, to say the least, and to others it was just a normal event. I mean, considering the person involved, that's Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, and his antecedents in politics in Nigeria. But first, I'd like to get your assessment, more like an appraisal of that event, and how that makes you feel as a member of the party.
Well, I don't see any surprise in it. I do not expect anything less, because Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is well prepared for this race. He has been making his preparations in the last 20 years. When you look at his antecedents, you will know that he's well prepared for this game. And when you look at the manifesto, you will know that they are well thought out. And when you look at the people around him, you will know that he has been making contact, not just today or yesterday. He's not an accidental presidential candidate. He prepared for it. And what you saw in Kano is just a tip of the iceberg, because the president deliberately stayed away, so that the people of Nigeria will not think that it's because of the president of Nigeria. You know, he's well loved in Kano, that his present that made people to come out in that kind of unprecedented number. Well, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, by God's grace, is the president in waiting, all things being equal, and I'm not surprised with what happened. And as a member of APC, I feel elated because you have to win 2 of these 3 states, Rivers, Lagos, and Kano. Whoever wins 2 of the 3 states will eventually become the president of Nigeria. That has always been the system from day one.
Okay,
this time around, Asiwaju will win.
We'll talk about that much later. But first off, let me get the view of Barrister Akinola on this. Your presidential candidate was in Kano yesterday, and as a southerner who could, get that much support from the north, this was to some people unprecedented. How does it make you feel?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to greet the people of Ondo State. Ekuleo, Ememoyi Olubuyiro Akinola ló ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀. Nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Kano ní òde àná kò jẹ́ ìyàlẹ́nu fún mi, nítorí pé a rí pé bàbá wa olóyè Alhaji Bọ́lá Tinubu ó ti ṣe gudugudu méje ó dẹ̀ ti ṣe yàyà mẹ́fà ní Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n ní Bùnmi ń bu ọlá kìrìǹkè lódò a ti rí nǹkan tí Tinubu ṣe fún wọn lókè ọ̀yà ní 2015 tí ó bá jẹ́ Tinubu ó ṣeé ṣe kí ààrẹ wa ò ní Muhammadu Buhari kó má sí lórí àlééfà. So wọ́n ní tó bá ṣe fún mi máa ṣe fún ẹ padà. Òun ni àwọn ará òkè ọ̀yà fi dúró gbọngbọn lẹ́yìn Tinubu wípé Tinubu ni ó kàn ya Tinubu lẹ́nu tí Tinubu fìdá rẹ̀ sọ pé òun ló kàn. Àwọn ará òkè ọ̀yà gan-an ti sọ fún wa pé ká má fòyà ká má bẹ̀rù ká fọkàn balẹ̀ pé Tinubu ló kàn Yorùbá ló kàn nítorí gẹ́gẹ́ bí òwe tí mo pa mo ní Bùnmi ń bù ọ́ òun ni àkèrè ń ké lódò àti ṣe fún wọn àjọ pàtì papọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ACN àti ẹgbẹ́ CPC bí tá ti ń bọ̀ nìyẹn ìgbà tá a dẹ̀ gba pàtì papọ̀ a kó ọmọ síta a kó ẹrú síta a kó gbogbo èrò ará ọjà àti gbogbo èrò síta. Ìbá wù mí ká wo campaign nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ní 2015 kárí bá ṣe jáde tó fún Muhammadu Buhari. Òun náà ni àwọn ará òkè ọ̀yà fi tú jáde ní tọmọdé tàgbà lónílé lálejò láti ṣe ìkíni káàbọ̀ fún bàbá wa Aṣíwájú Bọ́lá Tinubu. Ṣẹ́rí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe Tinubu ló ń polongo ara ẹ̀, iṣẹ́ tó ti ṣe ní Nàìjíríà ló ń polongo ẹ̀. Àwọn èèyàn ń dárúkọ Èkó, kì í ṣe Èkó nìkan ni Tinubu ti wà pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà láti 1992 nígbà ayé SDP. Òun ni àwọn ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin àgbà tó fi ṣe alága appropriation committee banking and finance committee nígbà yẹn. Àtìgbà yẹn ní Tinubu ti yẹ kó jẹ ààrẹ ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin àgbà, ṣùgbọ́n Tinubu kò ro tara ẹnìkan, ó ń ro ìfẹ́ àti ìbáṣepọ̀ gbogbo Nàìjíríà. Tinubu wá ní òkè tá a bá fẹ́ kí ààrẹ jáde ní ilẹ̀ ìwọ̀ oòrùn ní tilẹ̀ Yorùbá tó jẹ́ MKO Abiola, ẹ jẹ́ ká lo ẹnìkan látòkè ọ̀yà tó jẹ́ current chairman of the PDP, Senator Yosha Hayu. So ìgbà yẹn Tinubu ti àpẹẹrẹ lélẹ̀ bí Nàìjíríà ṣe lè jọjọ ṣe papọ̀.
Before we get into the details of that history, and you're taking us back in the day, but let's talk about the current momentum now, which is the mega rally being taken across the country. Kano was a good precedence, so to speak, yesterday, because that would definitely boost the morale of other states across Nigeria who are supporting Aṣíwájú Bọ́lá Tinubu. You will be here on Saturday, all things being equal. How does this make you feel? And do you think the people of Ondo State are ready to welcome him come Saturday?
Àwa ará ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo àti gbáradì nítorí aṣáájú ọmọ tiwa ni. Wọ́n ní ọmọ ẹni iṣẹ́ dìbẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ká fi lẹ̀kẹ̀ sí ọmọ ìlú. Àti gbáradì àti pé onílé adẹ̀ ti pàlejò. Àti gbáradì láti gba àlejò àwọn alága ẹgbẹ́ wa, láti gba àlejò bàbá wa Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu, láti gba àlejò Alhaji Kashim Shettima ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. Wọ́n ní bí gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣe ń lọ yìí, ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo jẹ́ ọ̀kan pàtàkì nínú gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀ nínú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. So àwa a kì í ṣe lábọ̀. Tẹ́ bá wo result ti election 1979, Ondo State wọ́n á di 95% fún bàbá wa Awólọ́wọ̀. So nǹkan tá ń ìgbáradì wa pé ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo ti APC ni, ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo ti Progressive ni, ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo ti Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu ni. A bá wọn pín, a dẹ̀ bá wọn, a bá PDP, a bá wọn pín ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. Nǹkan tí a ti gbáradì sílẹ̀, a ti bá àwọn èèyàn wa sọ̀rọ̀, a ti bá àwọn èèyàn àwọn ìyálọ́jà wa, a ti bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀, a ti bá ọmọdé sọ̀rọ̀, a ti bá àgbàlagbà sọ̀rọ̀, a dẹ̀ ti bá tẹ́ bá rí ní Ìjẹ̀lú, ẹ rí pé gbàrà tí bàbá wa Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu jáwé olúborí nínú ìdìbò abẹ́lé ti ẹgbẹ́ APC, ó wá sí ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. ẹni tó mọ ti nǹkan tí ibi tí ó tọ́ sí àgbàlagbà, tó mọ ibi nǹkan tó tọ́ sí ọmọdé, ó wá kí àwọn bàbá kábíyèsí wa, ó wá rí ọba, ó rí joyè, ó dẹ̀ sọ ibi tó ń lọ, nǹkan tó máa ṣe fún àwọn aráàlú. Nísìn àwọn aráàlú ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo àti gbáradì fún dídé bàbá wa Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu. Dídé ẹ̀ kì í ṣe pé a ti mọ nǹkan tó ń fẹ́ ṣe, ó ti sọ pàápàá fún wa ibi tó ń lọ. Àwa dẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe tán láti tẹ̀lé, láti sì débi tí ẹ̀rù ti ní ba Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu. A máa sì dé Abuja, a dẹ̀ máa sì dé inú Aso Rock Villa. Nǹkan tí a fẹ́ fìdí ẹ̀ múlẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ Sátidé ọjọ́ 7 oṣù kìíní ọdún 2023 nìyẹn. Tí Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu ó ti sọ fún wa nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe, ó ti rìlíìsì ìrètí tuntun tí a ń pè ní renew hope fún gbogbo ọmọ Nàìjíríà. Kì í ṣe Yorùbá nìkan, kì í ṣe president Yorùbá nìkan ló fẹ́ ṣe. A ṣe president Hausa, a ṣe president Fulani, a ṣe president Igbo. Ó dẹ̀ ti sọ fún wa pé báyìí o, tí a bá fi bò, tá a bá fi gbé òun sí ipò pàtàkì, pé òun náà á ṣe gudugudu méje, òun á ṣe yẹ̀yà mẹ́fà fún gbogbo mùtúmùwà ní gbogbo Nàìjíríà. Ẹ̀kíní, ó ti pinnu nípa ọ̀rọ̀ ajé wa tó dà pé ó mẹ́ẹ̀. Ó ti pinnu pé òun máa ṣe nǹkan tuntun láti gbé ọrọ̀ ajé wa dìde.
All right, a lot to be said on the personality of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his fate in the political arena of Nigeria. Barrister Tolu Babaleye, a lot of people have brought forward different issues, controversial issues regarding the person of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. Now, someone called me yesterday on a personal note and was asking me questions regarding how can a man who has been adjudged to be unhealthy by some section of Nigerians be that agile yesterday? He was standing for almost 1 hour yesterday on the podium. How would you marry these controversies and what Asiwaju himself is displaying as a presidential candidate?
Well, you know, if you look at the politics of Nigeria, whoever is going to win an election will be the talking point. It will be the rallying point. It will be the person that everybody will be focusing on. It's just like when you go to town, you see a citrus fruit with the fruits on top of it. You will see children, like mango tree. Children will be stoning the mango just to bring down the fruit. That is the kind of personality that you see in Asiwaju. That you cannot see children stoning a mango that has no fruit on it, or an orange tree that has no fruit on it. People are saying all this kind of thing because they know that Asiwaju is the incoming president. When you say somebody is sick, who is not sick in Nigeria, if you want to say it? What do you mean by sickness? What is sickness? I do ask people. Is God that it is only God that determines life and when anybody will die? You cannot determine it. you as a person cannot determine. Somebody you can think is healthy today, tomorrow you will say, you will just say that the man is dead. And meanwhile, the person that people are saying has been sick will still be living. If you see what Asiwaju is displaying, you will see that they are just enemies of progress. Any opposition that knows that they cannot do anything to Asiwaju, that are just going about with the rumor. Asiwaju is hale and hearty, very active and agile. If you know him, he doesn't sleep because of the issues of Nigeria. He's a strategist, a master strategist by all standard. He works throughout the night, and the man is very healthy. I can show you, I can tell Nigerians about that, because it's a person that I've related with on one-on-one. We sat down just like we are sitting down now on many occasions, and I know the kind of stuff Asiwaju is made of. Is in fact the kind of the brain of Asiwaju. I don't think 10 people in Nigeria have that kind of brain. If you look at since 1999, the only person of all the first generation of politicians from 1999 that is still standing tall is Asiwaju. Where are his colleagues today who are governors at that time? Where are they? They have all filtered away. Some of them you don't even know that they were governors again. But Asiwaju is still standing. He's a successor with successor. He has developed so many people. So everywhere you go is Oga Komodo 1 million ni. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. And let me tell you, sir, we are not going for a football match in Aso Rock. He's not going to be a bricklayer or what people call mason. He's not going to do carpentry work. What is his work? Is to coordinate the presidency. He's a talent locator. He will hunt the talents and bring them about. Look at what is happening in Lagos. So the man who assembled talents, the moment he assembled the talents, he had them all around him. He knows the capability of each and individual that he has been, cropping since 1999. I am telling you, Asiwaju will be the best that has ever happened to Nigeria by the grace of God from May 29 this year. Asiwaju is not sick. Asiwaju is hale and hearty. He's hale and hearty.
Okay, so I understand that Barrister Akinola is itching to speak to the people in Yoruba based on his sentiments and personal reasons. But this is an English program, and I'm going to implore you to please stand and stick to that, because you could chip in Yoruba every now and then, but let's do more of English. Thank you. So now a lot has been said about Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. He's not the only candidate, we know that. We have his contemporaries in other political parties. The Labour Party, Peter Obi. We have in PDP, Atiku Abubakar. But Asiwaju has gotten the most blows since the campaign started, and we're beginning to wonder why. Why could this be a sort of propaganda to affect negatively the chances of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu at the polls?
Thank you, my sister. The reason why people have been attacking Asiwaju is because Asiwaju remained the winning horse in this race, and it is the winning horse that received the most battering or the most stone, like my brother has rightly said. The reason why they are throwing that to him is because they see him itching to victory. And once you see that he's itching to victory, there is a possibility of people trying to put all sorts of things on his way. But the thing is that this is a done deal. The Asiwaju presidency is a done deal. He has paid his due. He has done well in the country. He has a state to showcase. The first in Africa. He has generated problem into solutions. The Eco-Atlantic City in Lagos is something to showcase. The blue monorail that is just
been inaugurated
just last week is the vision of Asiwaju. The governor himself said so, that Asiwaju began this. So it was a 25-year development plan that Asiwaju has put in place to generate employment, for urban renewal, to decongest city and to do a lot of good programs for the people of Lagos State. So these are the things we are saying, that this is a man that has vision. Then when you place their vision side by side with the contemporaries you talk about, or Peter Obi in Anambra State, where is his vision? Where is the evidence of his vision in Anambra State, for instance? Where is the evidence of the vision of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar in Adamawa?
It was once vice president, so it's always quick to refer to that.
He was a vice president. He was made he was in chair of the privatization program of the former president Olusegun Obasanjo, but he sold everything to himself. That's the evidence we have today, and most of those privatized institutions are now moribund. These are things we're talking about. Achaju is the one that knows the way, is the one that knows the workable solution for the problem of Nigeria. He has things to show in evidence. That's the way we lawyers talk. Where is the proof of evidence? Lagos State is the proof of evidence. If you want to talk of education, you see model secondary school, model primary school in Lagos State competing with private school. Some of these institutions has better facility than private schools in Lagos State. We have in the area of healthcare, we have the Lagos State maternity is the best for women who wants to deliver children and all that, for women healthcare in Lagos, for maternal healthcare. So better than most of the elite hospital in Lagos State. That is the vision of Achaju, that you will create a public health institution that will be accessible to the ordinary people, but we compete in better quality with even the private sector healthcare institution. The same thing in transportation. Achaju started the idea of a BRT system that will revolve around city. We carry mass of people from one location to the other in a real-time fashion. And this thing started, it was Governor Fashola, after him, that commissioned that project. And that project today is a symbol that is trying to be copied from other African countries. These are things that can be seen. There is a proof of evidence of Achaju's sagacity, of Achaju's wisdom. In fact, it's the proof of the true progressive credentials that we talk about Chief Obafemi Awolowo, which made him the reference point in Nigerian politics and in Africa politics, even up to date. These are unbeatable record.
Okay, now talking about the voting strength of Nigerians by region and zones, we cannot wish away the fact that the North is a force to reckon with. Do you think that, putting aside what we saw yesterday in Kano, do you think Asiwaju Bola Tinubu will get the needed support from the North, given the fact that there is another candidate in the race who happens to be an original, so to speak, who is an indigene, is like a Nigerian of northern extraction? Do you think this could affect the chances of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu at the polls?
You see, when you look at the northern politics is based on a trust system. A leader we can trust. General Olusegun Obasanjo became the president of Nigeria because of the northern people vote, despite the fact that the westerners refused in 1999 to vote for General Olusegun Obasanjo. Because he was trusted with power in 1979. He handed over to Alhaji Shehu Shagari. So that made them trust General Olusegun Obasanjo. So the campaign riding then was, this is a leader we can trust. Now coming to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has fielded Alhaji Atiku Abubakar AC as a candidate for the president in 2007. Tinubu has fielded Ribadu in 2011. He fielded Ribadu. Then in 2015, he fielded Muhammadu Buhari, and Muhammadu Buhari won the election. So he's a leader they can trust from the north to do his bid. Nigeria is organized from independence. It's a situation in which anyone that will become president of Nigeria will have to be more or less like a negotiated coalition. So this negotiated coalition was what produced Obasanjo, was what produced Yar'Adua, was what produced Jonathan, is what produced, even when the power changed from Jonathan to Muhammadu Buhari, it was a negotiated coalition of the people of Nigeria. So it is the same coalition that is going to produce Tinubu, because Tinubu is a leader they can rely on, is a leader they can trust from the north.
Do you belong to the same school of thought, Barrister Abdul Babale?
Well, I belong to the same school of thought, but with a proviso that the North knows that it is the turn of the South to produce the president. I practice law.
When you say the North knows
yes,
that it's the turn of the South to produce president,
yes.
Are you referring to the northern elites or the northern electorate? There are two different.
The northern electorates are controlled by the northern elites. I can assure you of that. Because
are you 100% sure about that?
I schooled in Katsina, heart of the north. I practice law in Abuja, capital city of Nigeria, which is also in the north. So when I speak about the north, I speak from a position of authority.
Okay.
Yes. I can assure you today that the north deserves a southern president, because they believe that it is only a southern president that can give them peace. And the north wants the unity of Nigeria intact. And they know that the only thing that can check the unity of Nigeria is for them handing over from north to another north. And that is why during the primary election of APC, if you can still recollect, there was a lot of horse trading, to the extent that the party chairman of APC said that they have agreed on the person of the senior president, Ahmed Lawan. Immediately, the northern governors did a counter coup against the party chairman to say, no, you cannot say that. We are not going to agree with you, because we value the unity of the country more than anything. And they came together and said that it is the turn of the South, and the person they can trust is no other person than Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We all knew what happened during the primary election. Even with a very little effort that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed put, he has more than 80% of the delegate votes at the Eagle Square. I was there that day. I was marveled. I look at the kind of love that Nigerians of northern extraction have on Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Go and write it down. Bola Ahmed Tinubu will win this election landslide on the first ballot. I saw some people talking about the second ballot. Where will it come from? There is no second ballot in this election. Go and mark it and write it. There is no second ballot. It's just first ballot, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be declared the winner. Because I live in the north. I just came back last Friday. I know what the northerners are talking about. I followed them to the campaign in Jos. I was there. I was in Nasarawa. So I know what is happening as far as the northern Nigeria is concerned. You saw what happened in the Kogi state. You saw what happened in Kogi state.
Okay, we wouldn't wish away your words, because you are not just an ordinary member of the APC, you are a member of the PCC. So I know you know what you were saying. Now let's ask Barrister Akinola, who is our Yoruba discussant this morning, but unfortunately we have to do more of English. Now, do you think that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is getting as much support from the south as he is getting from the north?
Yeah, that is a very good question. Yes, I think he's getting it. And for me, the South is the Asiwaju's home zone, starting from Lagos, and I live in Lagos.
For obvious reasons.
Yes, I practice in Lagos, and I know that from house to house, street to street, local government to local government, Asiwaju will defeat all the candidates put together in Lagos State. Then coming to other parts of the West, Asiwaju, as we have seen, the party is in charge of Ondo State. So the governor of Ondo State, Arakunrin Odunayo Akeredolu, is fully in support of Asiwaju, and is working tirelessly to make sure that Ashaju is produced, not just by 50% or 60%, but by a record of 90% in Ondo State. Now, Ekiti is fully in charge. APC is fully in charge in Ekiti State. So we have had a back-to-back transition of power from APC to APC in Ekiti State. And nobody is sleeping in Ekiti State. Ashaju will be in Ekiti on Friday. So Ekiti, we deliver, and this is the core zone of the progressive. Right from 1951 is the core zone of the progressive. We will deliver 90% from Ekiti. Then also going to Ogun. So we is getting even Osun that is a problem. Osun, where we recently had an electoral problem. The people said, look, we are not voting, it's not about party. The person we voted against was the personality of the then governor in Osun State. But that coming to the presidential election 2023, it will be mammoth votes for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and APC in Osun State. So we are getting support. Look at what happened recently in Owerri. After we had our retreat in Abuja, we went to Owerri. And there, the Igbos, they contributed £1 billion to support the mission of, the presidency of, the presidential campaign of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So the Igbos, they've gathered together, they've analyzed, look at the letter written by Professor Soludo to Peter Obi. He said, look, you know you cannot win this thing. Don't let us waste our time. Let us bid and have a negotiable coalition with the rest of the country so that we can produce an Igbo president in future. This is not the time. So they know. So, and the intelligentsia, the Igbo business people, they are already behind Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And you can see, we will be in Enugu next week, and you will see that what we are saying, we are not just talking trash, we are talking from statistics and what is on ground.
Is that in
reality?
Is that to disregard any form of endorsement from supposed elder statesmen who earlier
Which endorsement?
came out to openly now?
The endorsement, I've read of General Olusegun Obasanjo endorsement, and I've read about Edwin Clark's endorsement. But let's look at the personality of the people endorsing. You see, General Olusegun Obasanjo always play to the gallery. Sorry to say, with due respect to him.
How do you mean?
You see, we run in a presidential democracy, in a presidential system of government. When you finish your as a president of the country, you stand in a very pivotal position as a former president. You know a lot of things that the ordinary people on the street do not know. You have a private channel through which to speak with the current occupant of the president. You don't need to pay to the gallery. You don't need to go to the media. These things, we copied it from America. How many times have you had Clinton coming out to speak against whatever is being viewed wrong by the president of America? How many times have you had Obama? There is a private, it's like a clique of the former president. So they have a place which these people...
Like an inner caucus.
Yes, which these people see themselves and discuss these things. Okay. And these are the better way through which all presidents all over the world, whether in South Africa, whether in America, whether in Brazil, everywhere, they have discussed these things, and whatever it is, you leave it to the current occupant to do. History will be the best judge of everything.
Okay.
Well, IBB said something before I got that. He said, look, history will forgive us for making error. As we are all human beings, we are going to run our race, we are going to make some errors, we are going to make some achievement. But history will forgive us. But history will never forgive us for doing nothing. And that is, you cannot accuse APC of doing nothing in terms of security, in terms of education, in terms of health, but we can have some error here and there. And this is the reason why Achaju is coming with a renewed hope manifesto. So where we have success and achievement, it will be strengthened. Where there are error, it will bring in new idea.
Okay.
And rejuvenate the
Okay.
economy.
What is the antecedent of Obasanjo and the endorsement? I want you to look at it. I'm a student of history. I almost got a degree in history, you know.
Yeah.
Before I now said, okay, let me go for law. If you look at the history of Obasanjo and Yoruba presidency, you will not be disappointed in what he has done. If I would have been disappointed, if he had endorsed Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when Awolowo was seeking to be president of this country, we knew what Obasanjo did. He did not support him, he supported Shagari. When it was the turn of Abiola, we were all in this country. We knew what he did. He did not support Abiola. He was one of the military cabal that thwarted and non-June 12 election. And he now became the sole beneficiary. Through what my learned friend called negotiated
Coalition.
Coalition. He became the beneficiary. And now, when it is the turn of the Awolowo incarnate, which is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what do you expect from OBJ? He doesn't want any Yoruba man to become president in his lifetime, to the extent of the person becoming the best that will rubbish all his achievements, because he knows that with Tinubu presidency, honestly, history will completely do a 360-degree turnaround
in favor of
a Tinubu. Because what did Yoruba people gain from Obasanjo presidency?
But this is totally your opinion, though.
It's my opinion, personal opinion. I stand by it anytime, any day, and you know it. You know me. Please let me make my point.
Okay.
What do we gain? Look at the road between Lagos and Ota to the home of Obasanjo. What did he do about it? So somebody is now coming to say this is our turn. You know what he said? He said Obi is like a needle with rope. You know that he's looking for the person he will be controlling. Obasanjo is looking for a president that they put there that will be doing his bidding. He's looking for a lackey. And he knows the personality of Tinubu, that Tinubu stands for the truth, Tinubu stands for justice. We are all in this country. When Obasanjo stopped the allocation of Lagos, Tinubu went to court and up to Supreme Court and won, because he's a man who believes in whatever he believes in. And this time around, you do not expect Obasanjo to support Tinubu. And I am telling you, Obasanjo is a true son, is a son of Yoruba land. He's our leader, but he has never been part of Yoruba development. He's always against the Yoruba, and that is why Wole Soyinka, I mean, or is it who was the person? I may be wrong in this quotation now, that Obasanjo is not a true Yoruba person, that is of Anambra and Ogun. So I cannot independently confirm that, but that is what I read in one of the articles. So probably he has gone home to think that one of his siblings should become the president.
It's a speculation, and
I've just said it.
Yes,
I've just said, but I read it. It's not speculation. Somebody wrote an article.
Let's dwell more.
And he was talking of antecedent that Obi is a mentee. How can Obi be a mentee of Obasanjo? We are all in this country. Please let me make my point.
Okay.
I beg you in the name of God.
You will.
We are all in this country. When Ngige was imposed as the governor of Anambra State under Obasanjo presidency, it was through the court of law that Obi became governor of Anambra State. So how did Obi become a mentee of Obasanjo? Obasanjo is looking for, press around him. He's looking for stories. He's looking for news. Attention around him. And this time around, he has, the true son of Yoruba land, who has done everything. Oti Roko Yi Obasanjo ka, even in Ogun State. We will defeat him in his unit. Go and mark my words.
Okay, Nigerians.
Endorsement or no endorsement?
Now let's now dwell more on the coming of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu to Ondo State. This time, I'm asking this question from Barrister Akinola. Is Ondo State prepared to receive Asiwaju?
Yes, I've said it at the initial talk that Ondo State is fully prepared to receive Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his entourage. How? We have prepared. We have told everybody we are campaigning for the coming, we are advertising, we are placing jingle everywhere to welcome Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is to show the depth of our preparation. And apart from that, meetings are going on from unit to unit, from ward to ward, in order to mobilize our people. That look, let's welcome our next president, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to Ondo State. For me, as far as I'm concerned, I believe this election thing, for me, as far as I'm concerned, it is foolproof. You've seen it all. You've seen it in Kano, not just in Kano. You've seen it in Lagos. You've seen it even when the party, as a party. Let's
not forget that these rallies are just a form of precursor to the election.
I'm coming to that. When you look at PDP, the way it was in 2019, PDP then, led by Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, was with Wike and his 5 governors, was with Peter Obi himself and all his entourage in Labour Party. The result of the election, they could not meet up with APC. So now that they've all splitted into 3, it's a walkover for APC. That's what I see coming. It's a walkover for APC, and for me, the campaign is a celebration. It's a pre-celebration of the inauguration of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to 2023. So that is what we are witnessing, and that is what you witnessed yesterday in Kano. And I can bet it with you, Kano is just a tip of the iceberg. Kaduna is they are preparing everywhere in the north. Everywhere is going to be a tsunami. The margin of the election, you are going to see the margin of victory will be a record-shaking, a record-making margin in the presidential election history in Nigeria. So that is what we are witnessing, and that is why we are so happy in Ondo State to receive him, to have been part of Asiwaju's story, to have been part of Asiwaju's journey, to have been part of Asiwaju's history. So we are very happy. We are very happy to receive him. We have been preparing. My colleagues, all of them are on the field. I just came down from the field, and I'm going back there after this radio program. We are going back to the field to make sure we dot our I's, we dot our E's and everything, and receive Asiwaju on Saturday, which is the beginning of the inauguration of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay, now let's just project a little bit into the future. What percentage of votes are you envisaging for Asiwaju Bola Tinubu in Ondo State?
What?
Rough estimate now.
The rough estimate of the votes I expect for Bola Tinubu in Ondo State, 75% of the votes in the state.
And is Ondo working towards that, towards achieving that?
We are seriously working towards achieving that. Asiwaju is part of Ondo State. If you know what he has done in Ondo State, ever since the beginning of democracy, he has never abandoned Ondo State. And after several attempts, he made it possible to make Ekiti the governor of the state. He took, if you remember, you recollect that he took over the government of this state from PDP. Even the one that was there before, which is Governor Mimiko, it was the effort of Asiwaju that made him the governor of the state. Because he has always believed that to develop Southwest, 2 states have to take a pivotal role, Lagos and Ondo State. Because Ondo State has the longest coastal line in Nigeria. And we need Ondo State to develop Southwest. And that is why we are all prepared. It is not about party this time around. It is not about whether you are a PDP or whether you are APC or Labour Party. Ọmọ wa ni ẹgbẹ́ ó ṣe la fẹ́ fi bòyí ṣe. It is our turn. Àwa ló kàn ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. A ò lè ṣorí burúkú náà. Nígbà tí a bá gbé kan fún wa tá a ti fẹ́ gbé sọnù fúnra wa. It's not going to happen. And that is why you discover that when he even came into Ondo State impromptu to see Baba Fashionati, without telling anybody in the party. You saw what happened in Ondo State. There was a standstill in Akure to the extent that nobody could pass. You will see what will happen on Saturday. So the people of Ondo State are in genuine love with Asiwaju because we know that is bringing development. Asiwaju is development personified. And we want, like what we are discussing in Ondo State, is that we want to have the highest percentage of votes in Southwest so that Ale Reno Soro, Lord Asiwaju. And you know, ever since we have been, since 1999, they have never given Ondo State a substantive minister, maybe apart from the era of Agagu, when he was minister for power, and Adezo Kumbo, when he was deputy until he became minister for defense. Under this APC regime, we have always played the role of a second fiddle. Asiwaju has assured us that he's going to give us a first-class ministerial appointment in Ondo State. And that is why Ondo State people, no matter the crisis within the APC, we are going to forget about it. Asiwaju is the rallying point. And we will deliver for him in all the units, all the wards, all the local governments. I can assure you of that.
Okay. Barrister Akinola, you might want to speak in Yoruba now if that would make more impact since you are talking about your principal. What's your message to the people of Ondo State?
My message, mi fún gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀ gbogbo ará ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo State ni pé ìbò tó ń bọ̀ yìí ọ̀nà méjì ìgbòòrò ló pín fún wa. A rí ọ̀nà rírí jẹ àti ọ̀nà àìrí jẹ. Ọ̀nà rírí jẹ ni Aṣáájú ń gbé bọ̀. Ọ̀nà àwọn jẹgúdújẹrá tí ó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ti bà ti state wọn kù. Òun lànà ọ̀nà yòókù. So à ń rọ gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wa nípínlẹ̀ Ondo State kan dúró sí ọ̀dọ̀ Aṣáájú. Ẹni tó bá mọ̀nà òun ló fọ̀nà wọ̀n yàn. Aṣáájú ti fọ̀nà wọ̀n wá lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ bí economy ṣe lè rí, bí education wa ṣe lè rí, bí health wa ṣe lè rí. Ó ti ṣe gbogbo ohun amúlùdùn tó jẹ́ pé Èkó kì í ṣe pé iṣẹ́ Èkó ti parí, iṣẹ́ Èkó ṣì ń lọ ni, a ṣì ń tọ́ lọ ni. Ibi tó bá dé lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀tẹ̀jẹ̀ náà kò fún wa díẹ̀ jẹ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. So kò lè ṣe fún wa láì ṣe pé ó di ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè ó níbi tí a pa Aṣáájú mọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí èèyàn fúnra rẹ̀. So ṣùgbọ́n tó bá wà nù ìjọba gẹ́gẹ́ bí ààrẹ wa, ó mọ nǹkan tó tọ́ sí mùtúmùwà, ó mọ ipò Ondo State wípé ipò Ondo State ni ó ṣòfò tó fi dà pé ìtẹ̀síwájú sáfẹ́rẹ́ ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ipò Ondo State ni Baba Awólọ́wọ̀ lò láti mú èròǹgbà ìtẹ̀síwájú bá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ẹ wo nǹkan tí Baba Awólọ́wọ̀ ṣe nípa education, ọ̀rọ̀ kòkó, àwa la ní kòkó nípínlẹ̀ Ondo State, àwa la ní gígẹ́dú nípínlẹ̀ Ondo State. Ipò wo ni kòkó wà lónìí nípínlẹ̀ Ondo State? Ipò wo ni gígẹ́dú wà lónìí nípínlẹ̀ Ondo State? So gbogbo nǹkan ó ní ìbá ní ìpínlẹ̀ lè ṣe nínú nǹkan wọ̀nyí. So a ní di ìrànlọ́wọ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ láti bá wa gbé kòkó dìde, láti bá wa gbé gígẹ́dú dìde. Bí túmẹ̀ nǹkan tá à ń sọ nípínlẹ̀ Ondo State, a ní di ìjọba àpapọ̀ láti bá wa gbé dìde. Ọmọ ẹni iṣẹ́ ìdíbẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ká wá fìlẹ̀ kẹ̀sí di ọmọ ẹlòmíì kì í dẹ̀ kí ń dọwọ́ èèyàn ká dà á sọnù. So ìgbà tí Aṣáájú tó tọ̀ wá wáyé fún ìbò ká di wìtìwìtìwìtì. Mo ti sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan ìbò 1959 ìbò Western Region ibí yìí ni Action Group ti rí bójú rẹ́kọ̀dù ń bẹ. Rẹ́kọ̀dù Fedeco ní 1979 Ondo State 95% la ní. So ibi yìí gangan ní gbòǹgbò progressive nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. So ẹ jẹ́ ká fi ìbò ká jáde ní mùtúmùwà, ká jáde onílétàlejò, ká fi ìbò gbé ìjọba amáyérọrùn, ìjọba ìtẹ̀síwájú sí ìlú Àbújá kí ètò ẹ̀kọ́ ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo State kó lè sọ di.
Okay, I'll take that as your parting shot on the program this morning. Barrister Tolu Babale, what will be your parting shot?
Well, my parting shot is to appeal to the people of Ondo State that it is now or never. Let us use this opportunity that God has given us to put a genuine Yoruba man as the next president of Nigeria. The time is now. Let us forget. Party me. Party me. What we are talking about is not about party. Ọmọ wa ni ẹ̀jẹ̀ ó ṣe òun là ń sọ yìí. Ẹni tó bá lọ sí Òkè Ọya a mọ rírì kọ́ ọmọ èèyàn ó ṣe president. Ẹni tó bá lọ sí Katsina bí mo ṣe sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan high school in Katsina. I was there for like 3 years. So if you get to Katsina now, you get to Daura, which is the home state of the president. If you see the federal government presence, you would think that is it not Katsina, is it not Daura? Tobagbe ọkọ fún wèrè, Africa kò sàkátà ẹ o. Somebody who is saying, despite the fact that his senior brother is the president, he still say he wants to be president. He knows what he's talking about. Oh. He wants the power to remain with his people. No matter what your economic power is, if you do not have political power in Nigeria, you can do but nothing, because the person in political power can just use one policy and destroy your whole economy, the so-called economic power. And now that Nigerians have decided to give it to the Southwest, let us know that this is our chance. Tabati danu, tafi yote, tafi baje, oku sawawa o. Okitiupa people, Ikale people will say, ahororo.
All right, that's a good place to rest the conversation today. My sincere appreciation to my studio guest, Barrister Akinola. Thank you very much, Barrister Olu Akinola, for being on the show this morning. We really appreciate your time. I also want to thank Barrister Tolu Babale as well for coming on the program this morning.
Thank you.
On Saturday, the 7th of January, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, APC presidential candidate, will be in Akure, Ondo State. Well, let's hope for the best and wait as we pray that everything will go fine. My name is Olabisi Olani Oluwasegun. Thank you for listening. Good morning.